What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Nate Great coming at you with another live. You already know if you're new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. And to all the returning friends and family, you already know it's peace and blessings. I'll give y'all some time to tune in. Y'all know how I do. I don't always do the notifications in the morning. I just go when I go. First things first, hope everybody's having a blessed and productive Tuesday so far. Hopefully everybody is gotten to their destinations or getting to their destination, especially those on the West Coast. Definitely appreciate y'all for tuning in last night to the conversation. If you didn't catch it, catch the replay. You know, live went over 4 hours, but when the conversations is good like that, and these are topics that need to be brought up, they're gonna be brought here. Hey, Oz, what's going on, sis? Blessings. But it was definitely a good build last night, and we are going to have a part 2 to that type of panel again. Shout outs to Riders for Life, your shorty Rachel. Shout outs to The Word. Shout outs to Tay for popping up last night. Because again, those type of topics need to be brought because it's good to always get different views and aspects, especially if it's adding something to the conversation or it's adding something to some sort of solution. Old head, what's going on? Carlton, what's going on, y'all? I had to chime in with y'all for a little bit. I had to come outside and run some errands anyway, which I'm always done with. But it was definitely a good build last night, you know. And we definitely will have a part 2 to that type of panel. And the next time around, definitely anybody want to pop up, y'all more than welcome. You know. I do want to address something real quick, and it goes back to something I was saying a while back. Again, some of you parents are going to have to get in accordance with your kids as far as making sure they are the places they're supposed to be at. There's no way in the hell you tell me at 10 in the morning, not even 10 in the morning, it's 9:30 in the morning when I got up to walk outside. You mean to tell me I done came back after all that time being out? The same kids I seen in the hallway smoking, still sitting in the hallway smoking. These are nothing but females. Like, hold up. Ain't y'all supposed to be in school? Just the problem now. I'm going to say this right now. Some of you youngins are going to have to understand something. Just because you're not being properly taught at home, that doesn't mean you go out in the world and do what the fuck you feel like doing. You're supposed to be in school, or you're supposed to be trying to get an education and better yourself. Not worried about trying to be grown, being down with the crew. And again, this is how things end up happening. You know, while your kids should be in school, they sitting in somebody else's building hanging out. And I know these kids don't live in here. And that's the sad part. None of them look over the age of 15, but you smoking weed, worried about stuff that we was talking about last night. You worried about trying to get a boy or trying to get this. Come on now. It's time for y'all to stop with the nonsense. Seriously, stop with the nonsense. Ivy, what's going on, sis? Jimothy, what's going on? You know, and this is why things are happening to the youth now. Because again, these parents are not paying attention to if their kids are really in school or not. There's no way you're going to tell me these young girls is out here in this hallway smoking weed, worrying about boys, instead of worrying about getting an education and bettering themselves or trying to be something in life. This is the problem now. Jimothy, you look like the type that came out your mother's twat feet first. So on that note, get your ass up out of here. You look like the type that crawled out the fetus and not came out. So please don't come in here with that dumb shit again. Oh man. Yeah, your mother looked like the type that should be on SSI for having you, but she wasn't. So let's go there again. See, one thing I'm not going to tolerate, and that's not from anybody. I don't give a fuck who you are. Don't come in here with that dumb shit when there's something really going on here. See, you the type of person that probably allow your kids to be out there smoking, drinking, and trying to be grown until something happens to them. So I'm going to tell you again, Mr. Jimothy, which I already know who the fuck you are. You're the same person that been trolling. You've been quiet for a few days, but I'm gonna tell you this now. Nigga, don't come in here with that dumb shit. Cause that's an easy way for you to get your ass put the fuck up out of here. So I'm gonna tell you. How you doing? You know, again, Sweet Angel, what's going on? I see you. You know, this is the problem now. A situation like this that really happening, and then you have dickheads who want to come in here and troll. You are part of the problem too. Liz, what's going on? See, you're the part of the problem. You might not think so, but you are, because some of y'all sit here and oh, you just Look here, nigga. When that shit hit close to home, and you really looking like a fool out here, let's see who get the last laugh. When your kid is looking like the 80th percentile when they should be at the top, we'll see how that pans out. We see how funny that is. That's what I be talking about with some people. You ain't even brush your teeth yet. 9 out of 10. That was the first thing you did was come in here to try to fucking troll. Troll your mother's ass cheeks, nigga. Come in here with that dumb shit. Because all you know, you probably got kids, and if you probably ain't even paying attention to your kids is probably in a strip club 9 out of 10. Don't come over here with that stupid shit in the morning. You get your shit burned. Coco, what's going on, sis? You know, and it's sad because again, when they should be in school, they hanging the fuck out. That's the sad part and the sad case about it. When they should be in school, they're busy trying to be grown. They're busy trying to talk about, oh, I'm going to get this. Oh, I know he liked me. And like, this is all the shit I was hearing this morning before I even got out my building. I'm sitting there thinking like, all right, it's snowing, but you still supposed to be going to school doing something, not sitting in a strange building and don't know what the fuck could possibly happen in that building. It's fucking crazy. Coco, you already know, man. You already know how I do it. I don't play around with none of these motherfuckers, man. None of them. Ain't no time to be playing at all. You know, when it comes to topics, when it do come to topics like this again, y'all overlooking that shit. There ain't nothing to be overlooked. This is exactly why we at the bottom where we at right now. Nobody's even trying to worry about at least educating themselves, period. You ain't trying to get self-knowledge. You ain't trying to do none of the above. And this is the problem now. Again, right now, kids should be in school. Not worried about being in the hallways, not worried about trying to be cool. No, learning something, trying to better themselves. And this is where part of the conversation was at last night. You know, it's not just the youth you could blame. You got to blame the adults at home. Because if you ain't teaching your kids nothing of no type of value, no type of self-worth, you ain't teaching them shit. You setting them up for all the failure, period. Yo, Chill Will, what's going on? Cheryl, Juan Guan. See y'all over here. You know, but this is a sad problem, and it needs to be addressed. Because again, why are the kids not in school? Why are they somewhere they ain't supposed to be at? And why are you parents not worrying? Like, why I gotta take a situation or a tragedy that happened to your family for you fuckers to realize this is not a game no more? There's too much shit going on right now. Too much. No way you gonna tell me these girls don't even look older than 15, but you in the hallway worried about weed and boys. No, take your ass to school. That's the sad part about it now. Take your ass to school. All right. The sad part now. Take your asses to school and learn something. Try to be something in life. This is going to be a problem that's always going to be faced because, again, when you got adults that's not doing what they're supposed to be doing, this is the type of outcomes you get. This is why most of these kids is failing now in school. They not being pushed to actually go and learn something. And then if you don't want these kids in the school system, you know what you got to do. What's going on? You know what you got to do. You don't want them in the school system. You're going to have to homeschool, whether you want to or not. That's the problem now. You know, nobody's taking accountability. Nobody's trying to really wake up. Again, your kids are supposed to be in school and be busy sitting somewhere trying to get high and be there with the crew. What you expect to happen? And that's the sad part because, again, anything could have been happening in this building right now. You mean to tell me these girls is I still hear them now, sitting in the hallway still, from 8 something in the morning to almost 12 o'clock. So then these are the type of people that are gonna go home and lie and tell their parents, yeah, I went to school, yeah, I didn't have no homework, none of that. No, you parents gonna have to start getting in the code. The community and the villages is gonna have to start coming together again, because these kids should not be slipping through the cracks failing. They supposed to be the future lineup. How they gonna be the future lineup if they sitting here being irresponsible and being taught irresponsible behaviors? Slewfoot, what's going on, bro? She, what's going on? Appreciate you for dropping links, showing each other some love. You know, but this is a sad realization that nobody's understanding. This is exactly why the kids are going to fail. This is exactly why the kids are going to continue to have these type of situations happening, because the adults are not being adults. Doesn't make sense. Does not make no sense at all. These girls look like they should have been in school, not sitting in somebody's hallway, especially somebody that they don't know. You sitting in people's buildings, you sitting in unknown buildings that you don't know nobody in. This is how things happen. You gotta put it together, y'all. Come on. You want these kids, you want the youth to actually try to be something in life. You, if not the parents, the community and the village have to come together and show these kids that they have a lot to offer. Supposed to do that. You're supposed to show these kids and show these youth that they got a lot in life to offer. But if you ain't even showing them that, what you expect to happen? Take that into consideration. You know, we definitely want to see changes. At least the people with common sense want to see changes. We don't want to continue to see the youth failing or the youth dying out here. We definitely don't want to see the youngins being influenced on things that they shouldn't have no knowledge on, especially at a young age. Hey, Riders, what's going on, sis? Was just talking about you earlier. You know, definitely it was a good build last night. And for those, again, who didn't catch the replay last night, you could catch the replay. You know, it was definitely a good build and a conversation, and it was awareness that needed to be brought out there. Just like today is more awareness being brought out there. Because, again, these kids should have been in school. Uncle L, what's going on, my guy? You know, I'm serious. These kids should have been in school, not sitting in a strange area just getting hot. Because now while you sitting there doing that, what would have happened if a big man out of nowhere would have just came down and ran down on all of y'all? All of y'all not going to be able to fight that grown man. Don't none of them look over 50 pounds anyway, so it's like that'd be an easy sweep up for them. Get your asses up out of here. And again, you got to be in accordance with your kids, because if something happens to your kids and you ain't aware of it, guess what's going to happen? Guess who look foolish? You. Nobody else but you. You got to take that loss. You got to eat that. Why? Because you wasn't doing what you were supposed to be doing. And then again, the community got to eat that too, because y'all sitting there and allowing certain things. You know certain people. You know certain people's kids, and you refuse to open your mouth. See, some of y'all are on that, oh, I don't want them saying nothing because I don't want to be going back and forth with them about their kids, but you're going to have to. See, back in the day, it was the same way. Some things, the old heads going to mind their business on. Other things, they wasn't going to mind their business on, especially if they see potential in these youth. You know, that's the crazy part about it. Again, you should have been in school, not in a hallway smoking weed, worrying about boys. This is the problem now. Couple weeks ago, had a whole bunch of youngins in the damn same thing. Y'all don't live in here, but y'all coming in here because y'all feel comfortable enough to smoke. Just because my building might be safe right now, that don't mean it was always necessarily safe. And shit can still pop off. The only reason why my building was somewhat safe to a degree was because the cops used to be in here left and right. And meanwhile, we ain't the main building we in my area, our building is the calmest building to come and have a party, do anything at. Every other block, you got to worry about some nonsense or some madness. And that's the sad part. I think that's why they coming in here, because they feel comfortable coming in here because there's not too much going on. But let it really be some shit going on in this building active. You ain't gonna want to be sitting in here because you ain't gonna know what to expect. Platty, what's going on, baby? Hope you feel a little bit better. Chef, what's going on? Definitely appreciate y'all. You know, that's the sad part about it. You know, you're not really stepping up to the forefront the way you're supposed to. Because again, there's no way you're gonna tell me your kid is not in school or your kid is not somewhere growing and getting an education. They worried about smoking weed and worried about boys. And some of y'all parents that got women, that got girls that you raising, you better start getting in accordance with them. The same thing with the fellas. Got to get in accordance with them. It's time for parents to start being parents. It's time for the village to start coming together for good stuff and not the bullshit. Yo, Hood, what's going on, my guy? You know, and again, these type of conversations are going to continue to happen because, again, you're seeing certain things and you be like, this is still going on right now, and people are more focused on drama than worrying about trying to get these youth in order, worried about trying to get their lives in order. This is why we always want to have this uphill battle because the youth are not being taught anything outside of social media and the streets. They're not being taught nothing. They're not being taught their self-worth. They're not being taught knowledge of self. They're not being taught nothing. They are just going along as they go along, learning and seeing and just doing shit. And again, there should be no reason you going to tell me these kids don't even look older than 15. And they smoking and you talking about boys. Like something that, what we was talking about last night. It's sad that you really got to pay attention to what's going on. And some things should just never fly out of a kid's mouth or a teen's mouth, period. And that's all you could do. That's all you could do, Ivy, is, as a parent, that's all you could do is try to raise your kids the best. Now, when they get a certain age and they decide they making their own decisions, then, it is what it is. If they decide they want to go down this road, then, only thing you can do as a parent is just try to give it support, but it depends on what they try to do exactly. Not going to be supporting you. You out here causing chaos to the community and fucking up the community that you be living in. Not going to support you on that. I'll support you if you're trying to do something to help better the community or even better yourself. But I ain't helping you with fuck shit. And some of these parents are helping these youth with the fuck shit. Yo, Rich, what's going on, my guy? I know, Platty. And I do hope that you feel better. I know you're going through what you're going through. And we here for you. And I'm praying that you do feel better. For those who just tuned in, you already know, hit the like button. I just felt like this was something that needed to be touched up on because, again, why are these youth not worried about being better people in life? Why are they not worried about educating themselves and trying to make themselves, worth something? This is why they look at us like we ain't worth shit. There ain't too many people standing up and really trying to stop these cycles from happening. Again, the community lost everything as a whole. We don't have no unity. We don't have no loyalty, no nothing. Everything is for self, which it shouldn't be that way. And that's the sad part about it. Again, it's time for y'all to start getting in accordance. And some of you people in these communities are going to have to be a vocal part of these kids' life, regardless, even if the parents ain't being the vocal part. You don't want to see these kids losing their life before 21. You definitely don't want to see them locked up in the prison systems for life. And you don't want to see them just going through life, humming and bumming and struggling to try to make something. No, why these people are doing what you need to try to give them the best possible options. You need that. No way you gonna tell me these damn kids are sitting in the hallway the whole time from the time early this morning. Because I never been in this building at all. So you came from a whole other building because you felt safe over here. Guess what? If something was to happen, then what? Who gonna be at fault? You gonna be at fault number one. You being in school to be with your friends. Your parents are gonna be at fault because they wasn't paying attention to you. And then the community too is gonna be held accountable because if you seen certain things and you ain't reporting or saying anything, that goes to show you don't give a fuck about nothing. That's the sad part about it. You know? Yeah, Coco, dead ass. And then you know what it is again. I don't know how it is in every other state, but it seemed like truancy ain't even a fucking factor no more. That's exactly why a lot of these kids ain't going to school. Because I can remember truancy officers riding around from 9 o'clock to about at least 12 o'clock. So that means within those 3 hours, if they done caught motherfuckers ain't going to school, guess where they going? If they not getting sent home, they getting sent either to the school or they gonna be sitting in the holding cell waiting until their parents come get them. You know, and that needs to happen again because it seems like this is becoming a real outrageous problem. Kids should be in school, and instead of them being in school, they everywhere else but school. Becky G, what's going on, sis? You know, I can remember back in the day going to school and having them try to give me issues, but I used to show them my program. They used to be scratching their head thinking it was made up. No, it wasn't made up, nigga. I ain't making nothing up. I can't go in no damn school and print up a whole damn program. No, this is my program, bro. If you see me walking around between 9 and 11, I'm free. So don't bother me. Like I'm going to get my breakfast and I'm chilling. You know, but again, that needs to be brought back and implemented because why are these kids definitely failing? Because they're not being pushed. They're not being encouraged or motivated to do anything outside of smoking and trying to be grown before time. It's the sad realization, but y'all gonna have to bring that back. See, this is another thing that even when they be funding certain things like that, the people as a community got to come together. We know we don't see truancy like that no more. We got to start being truancy. Especially if you say you fuck with people in your neighborhoods and your communities and you know they kids. All right, you want to make sure they kids ain't going down the wrong path. Even if you have to intervene at times, so be it. Lovey, what's going on, Lovey? Definitely appreciate y'all for tuning in. You know, this is something that's a sad, scary situation that these kids are more focused on being grown and they worried about trying to better themselves, have a good future, a better outcome. You know, you don't want to be another statistic in the jail. You definitely don't want to be another statistic through the street. And you don't want to have to just be relying on specific services throughout your whole life. You want to be able to say, yeah, you know, I came from this, but luckily I didn't have to do this and this just to get where I'm at. Fucking crazy, man. That shit kind of had me a little pissed off. I'm like, again, this is the second time this week we done had girls that don't live in this building hanging out in this building, and then if something happens, then what? How y'all parents gonna even get upset and you ain't paying attention to your kids, especially your daughters, man? This is a fucking crazy world out here. Y'all really need to get in accordance. If y'all got girls out here that you raising, you better make sure they being raised properly. One overlook or one underlook, and guess what? You're gonna have a problem on your hands at some point. That's what I'm saying. Weather bad, you know, it's been snowing out here since this morning, and ain't nothing stick yet, but still, you know, the weather been terrible. And even regardless to what, mostly everybody's in school right now. It's quiet. Whoever ain't in school probably hiding because they don't want their parents seeing them. But that's corny too. Gotta break that cycle too. If I see you somewhere and I know, yeah, you know, I seen your child over here. I don't know if you know this is that third, but gotta make sure they ain't getting into no shit. So I can tell you. And see, even when you try to give a fair warning like that to somebody, like they want to get upset. And you parents have to understand that too. When somebody's telling you something about your child, they only telling you because they don't want to see your child getting wrapped up. And if they got real respect and love for you, they're going to tell you that. They're not going to sit there and let your child fail because they ain't going to let their child fail. And that's what needs to happen again. Some people have lost that notion. You know, and then when shit really hits the fan, now it's, oh, well, how are we going to stop this? This should never happen. It should never happen, but if you're not standing in accordance, what you think is going to happen? Sheed, what's going on, bro?
What's going on, man? Yeah. And now that you saying that them were girls in that breezeway, man, that because I just came in the middle, that makes it even worse, man. Because you got to look at the fact of the matter, all this stuff that's going on in society right now, and these young girls just living life like it's free. Man, you got predators out here, and they don't care. You know, it's let alone you got the same side with boys and then you got girls as well getting done the same way. And these young girls, man, they just living life so carefree and not even realizing at any given moment. You know, it's to a point where most guys they already bigger than most females, so they already at a disadvantage. No matter if you have a weapon or anything, somebody who's trained, they can get out of those situations with somebody with a knife or maybe even a gun. They can take that gun from you. You render useless or defenseless against somebody like that. And
Exactly.
so it's like not even properly telling. I mean, going to do stuff like that, smoking. You know, my uncle when I got older, he would always say, "I'd rather for you do it over here, and I could sit here and watch it, even though I don't want you to do it at all. But you done
Yeah,
got to an age to where I can sit down and make sure if you smoking something that you ain't out here buying something from everybody, and I got to take you to the hospital because you know you just getting some of anything, or you out here drinking, and then people taking advantage of you, going in your pocket, and then you know as a young man you wind up woke up and you feeling the type of way, and you know as men they don't talk about stuff like that. They hold that stuff into the grave. You know you've been violated. It goes against all those morals and cores as men. You know it's situations like that, man, where a lot of these kids so freehand don't think about none of that stuff, man.
yeah, and that's the sad part. And then you know what it is? It's not even just them. Because again, if you're not being taught nothing at home, if your community is not coming together trying to better and raise the people together, this is the problem we're gonna keep having. Again, that shit threw me off this morning. I'm sitting there, I'm smelling mad bud. I'm thinking, I'm like, the only person I know that would have any type of hallway lit up, at least in my building, you know, but I don't blame that one because that nigga be getting locked out of his crib, and I still don't understand how you do that shit. But but all in all, even still, he don't even do that. Like he probably have a clip if at anything, and then he keep it pushing. Like, damn, I gotta figure out who the fuck got my keys. Other than that, it's not like he's sitting there from the sun up to sundown doing it. You got some people even sitting in these buildings. You be like, yo, bro, y'all know for a fact all this socializing y'all doing, y'all could have did that indoors. Cutthroat, what's going on? See y'all in here. D Truth, what's going on? But it's sad because again, anything could have happened today. Even today, something could have happened. And that would have been the first thing. Well, how did this happen? And well, wait, no. The parents have to ask themselves the question: why wasn't I paying attention to my child, making sure they was where they was supposed to be at? See, I knew kids back in the day that they wasn't going to be, even when they was trying to get on that type of time, like, yeah, I ain't going to school today. I'm going to do this today. If you thought the parent wasn't going to be up there to make sure their kid was at school and then they find out the kid wasn't there, you know what time it was afterwards. So what's up? How was school today? You know what's funny? I know you didn't go to school today because I didn't see you in none of your classes today. So yeah, we got to have a talk about that. See, it was that back in the day. You did certain things at some point. You was getting found out, not by the parent themselves, by somebody. Like, yo, I seen your child over here. Wasn't they supposed to be in school? Wasn't they supposed to be doing this?
It ain't going back to that no more. Because the minute you try to tell somebody about their kid, oh, you ain't gonna tell me how to. It's not about telling you how to raise your kid. It's giving you the best advice so your kid don't be a fucking failure.
Yeah, that's true. My cousin was dealing with this lady, and she had a son, and she just always gave him money, did all kind of stuff. My cousin was, he was dating her. They was in the process, establishing a relationship, and he would always tell her, "Don't give your son that much money," and then he's not even earning it. So, and I told him, I was like, "How much?" She giving him like 150 every other week, almost 200. I said, "Man, just because he ain't doing his chores right. None of that stuff." Now, my cousin was like, I could see to the point if he was doing his chores, and even that's too much money. Man, you know how much I would have been a kingpin if I would have been having that type of money every other week? You know, all the stuff I could have been doing. And dude,
Exactly.
I'm talking about he just silly buying Jordans, and then as he got older, he started getting into weed, buying, pounds and stuff for his friends because he had the money. And so the kids were just using him to the point ultimately his mom got his own apartment when he was like 17 years old, 11th grade, because she moved into a house. She kept the apartment and she's going to keep it for that next year and everything until her lease ran out because he's going to turn 18 when the lease ran out. And I'm like, dang, dude had it made. End up going to jail on some, stuff hanging around with friends at the apartment all the time. And that's the point. You got parents that give too much leeway, and then you got them parents that aren't really strict enough, and you put your child in a situation to where they doing time.
Exactly.
You know?
True. What's going on? Jiggy, what's going on, my guy? No doubt, Ivy. I see you. Wait, Ivy. How you gonna be making lunch and ain't make me a damn burger, man? You know I'm fat and hungry. Come on now. That's a nah. Shout out to everybody that pulled in though. But it's the truth though. It's sad because you want to set your kids up for the best possibility. Not the same old damn youngin' ain't even get a chance to make it. You don't want to keep hearing them stories. You want to see success. You want to see these kids actually succeeding on the forefront. You don't want to have to worry about, damn, I gotta bury my kid. Damn, I gotta go visit my kid in the box. Not, like, come on.
And then if you look at it, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, then you look at it too. That little kid that you don't say nothing to his parents about him skipping, that's the robber next week or probably a couple of years from now that stick you up at a red light. He don't know who you is. He pulling the gun, whoever's in this car just so happen to be you. And if they shot, guess what? They got to continue with the robbery. They can't say, "Oh, sorry, Mr. Such, I ain't know it was you." No, they got to continue with the process because you know why? They need that money, and they at a point in life where they failing. They can't go back to say, "Man, I got to be respected because I know this dude." Nah, all morals go out the window because you didn't have morals when you didn't tell my parents when I was out here skipping. So why should I have morals for you now and save you? There are some instances where kids do have a heart, and that was back in the day when, you was put in situations, you had that mindset and you had that training like, man, you can't rob, I can't do this in my neighborhood. Let's go to another neighborhood. That's like, for instance, I just got on these kids messing with one of my sons, and I told him, I said, "Man, you picking on my son." I say, "This dude is literally probably twice my son's size, you know, and 7th grade." And I'm like, I know my son can't even fight you because he don't even have a standing chance. Plus, he know not to be fighting in school unless he ain't got no other choice. So I talked to the kid parent. The same day I talked to his parent, he came to school, told my son he's gonna beat him up after all this blow over. I was like, okay, so I know this dude ain't got no dad at the house. Cause ain't nowhere in the world, if my pop say something to me, that's dead. I'm not talking to that kid no more because I don't want the smoke.
Yeah.
Luckily, I ended up seeing the kid in the neighborhood and I pulled up on him. I said, "Hey, then I just talked to your mama this morning about this situation with you and my son." I said, "First of all, y'all from the same hood. Why y'all beefing anyway?" He's like, man, he snitched. I say, but besides him telling that y'all was about to get into a fight, I say, you literally were punching on him trying to get them to fight you. I said, what were you baiting them to fight you for? I say, my son don't do nothing. He ain't into all that. So he was like, well, I say, just truthfully, dude, you leave him alone, he won't mess with you. I say, I don't get that. Y'all young kids nowadays, how y'all beefing in the same hood? I said, if you go to school and somebody jump on you and he around, he's supposed to be there for you. Be like, hey man, you can't. Nah, this is my partner. Me and him going. We stay in the same neighborhood. That's how it was always done. You knew everybody in the neighborhood. So if anything happens, you're gonna look out for people in your neighborhood because they're gonna look out for you. Nowadays, like you said, it's all self mentality. Everybody's a free for all. I'm only dealing with myself. I'm not protecting the help for nobody else. So when the situation come along, I got 20 dudes jumping on me. I just got 20 dudes jumping on me. Versus you have a community come together. That's how this community relations was always built. And a lot of people lost track of that, man.
Yeah, and I see what you just said is it's a truthful notion. You know, we have lost that as a community because we used to be able to. It wasn't only so much like I was saying last night. It was only so much certain people could get away with. Like, see, even when I got into now, like I said, fourth grade was the only time in life, and I could say, may my mom's rest in peace, but she hated me to fucking. She not hating me, but she just was like, this motherfucker hit. Like I was getting transferred left and right because it was always a situation, but part of it wasn't really on me. Part of it, yeah, I could say I could take my accountability because I lost my temper. But then again, you expecting not to lose your temper when you the smallest person in your school as far as height or whatever. It wasn't the weight problem, it was the height problem. Like you're the smallest person in the school. Everybody think, oh, you ain't going, okay. Watch this. Now, he's terrorizing them. Yeah, this is what you wanted, right? I'll be trying to be cool and collective, but this is what you wanted. That was the only time my mom was hating me. It was like, now I had to put you in almost 8 schools before you got comfortable somewhere for 4th and 5th grade. I was like, yeah, because almost every school I went into was like you had people that's coming from different areas, and it's always the same situation. You got those who want to be bullied so badly and want to pick, but then when you bust them to the white meat, it's a problem. So, but even then it was crazy because even when I got into a comfortable school, even if I thought I was going to get into some madness, it wasn't going to happen. There's always somebody that knew my mom's like, yo, I seen your child over here. Yo, I think your child was doing this. So it was like, it was only so many things I was going to get away with, but everything else that I could slip away with, hey, I did. But it also taught me lessons, valuable lessons. Like I told somebody the other day, they was laughing. He was like, "Oh, you look like the type that was smoking since you was a kid." No, the fuck I wasn't. I ain't smoked a damn blunt till I was 18. Now I was drinking my drinks here and there. That was different. Again, I followed my own beat. I was a drinker. It was things I used to be doing, like I said, I wasn't supposed to be doing, but I was doing. But it also gave me a fair lesson. Like, you know what? At some point, I'm not even be doing this no more. Which I did. Like I ain't been, like I said, I have my drinks here and there, but I'm not doing like how I used to do. So that right there was a stoppage right there because you know how some kids get abused the alcohol. They start abusing alcohol and shit, and that's it. Me, I was just on the occasions. If I was at a party, you was going there. It wasn't a day in, day out type of situation. And even then, nobody forced nothing on me. I did that on my own. See, that was a difference. Back in the day, nothing was really being forced on you. It was a simple choice of what you was going to do. If this is what you was going to do, just know the consequences. That's it.
Yeah. And that's too a part of growth. I'm not the same man I was when I was a kid, even with my teenage time. I had my fair share. I go out, drink with the boys. I get so drunk, man, sloppy. Can't even walk, gotta chill for a minute, sleep it off. As I done got older, when I take my little sips, I hit my little limit, I mellow out, whether I'm drinking water, I'm chilling, no more drinking for the rest of the night. I'm not getting up, slouch, trying to, catch a DUI, anything. I got a lot to lose. Me at an older age, I got kids, I got a family, house, all this structure, all this stuff is maintained around me. You know, because that's a lot of stuff I talk about with life insurance. I talk a lot about that with people that if I die, life as I know it ends, but the people around me it keep going. So I got to put things in play, not only for me being here, but me when I'm gone. You know, say the least. That's why I say with a lot of people with kids, you got to pour so much into them because life ain't there for everybody. I always tell cats I lost my mom and dad at a young age, so that fear hunts my head to the point where I want to pour so much into my kids to make them better because hey, we all know ain't nobody guaranteed to live 100. But the point, as you get older, you in the thick of it. Change your life, man. You can't live the same. Even with people in gangs. That's why they have the baby gangsters to the OG. You still ain't no 80, 65-year-old dude doing drive-bys. You know, you evolve from that. You're not the shooter. I've been if I see a 60-some-year-old shooter, I'm gonna have to question his life, his path, and his decisions. You know, if you ain't made it to a boss status in the streets, you need to get out of there. That's like most OGs are 25 because like in the street life, you don't live to be that long, and the ones that do make it to see past 25, they evolved into the OGs. You
Yeah,
know, the teaching of you. Like you were just saying. I'm not gonna be sitting here seeing no young kid out here. I'm gonna give them a little game. Be like, hey man, y'all might want to move out this area, but you might want to go to school. Do this when you get out of school. You know,
exactly.
go learn something. Nobody like the old days. I used to have old heads teaching me. Every time I turn around, somebody was teaching me something, whether it was bad or good. They got the old saying, eat the meat and spit out the bone. You can have a crackhead sit here and tell you how to live your life and do your finances, and then he can also tell you the wrong way. But the point is, he got some knowledge. That dude on the street for a reason. He made some bad decisions. Learn from his mistakes to do better with your life. That's what a lot of the youth don't listen to. They want life experience. They don't want to get taught by life. They want life experience. That's why they have to go through the woes in order to understand. Like, dang, I should have listened to old head, my mama, to go get education. Now I can't do nothing with my life.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. That's why I said the like last night that talk we had, like this was a good convo because like we was talking about specific situations last night. I know some of y'all probably missed the live again, catch the replay because me and Riders and Tay and even Word was speaking on some things, and these are partly things that are what are missing in the community and bringing the unity together in the community. Again, there's no way you gonna tell me your kids is not in school. They somewhere where they ain't even, they not even known to really frequently visit. They just finding spots to go chill out, stay out of fucking people's eyesight because they want to do what they want to do. But that's sad. Again, everything starts from home. And even if they ain't getting that fucking knowledge at home, the people at the community are supposed to be giving the knowledge or at least trying to bring the awareness. Yeah, we know some youth don't want to hear it, but you got some youth that will have to have no choice but to hear it. And that's the one thing. Even back in the day, the OGs used to tell a lot of us, instead of y'all worried about this, why don't y'all take yourselves to school? Oh, you want to learn how to do this? Guess what? You want to know how you get this job? Go to school. That was the thing back in the day. Pushing that. We ain't pushing that no more. We need to start pushing that more. And some of you, like, it goes both ways. The same way the youth are supposed to take the knowledge from the youth, from the adults, it's the same way. Sometimes we got to take knowledge from the kids too, because they knowing shit that we ain't even know. Like I told somebody, I said when a 5-year-old is teaching a whole parent how to use an iPhone, that's how you know it's something wrong right there. Like, like you got to think about that. You know, we all gotta give each other that knowledge and that balance. Again, how does the community rise up if it's not happening that
Yeah, man. That's like that. Each one teach one. You know, same thing. Like you saying that my 4 year, my 3 year olds when they were three, they
way?
was showing they was showing my older brother. He was like in his, I think late late 30s or early 40s, how to use his cell phone because he didn't know how to go on there and pull the camera up, then go to YouTube. He just got a new phone. He's like, I don't even know this thing got YouTube on here. He pull it up. They show him the app. They said it's right here. Look, and, and they be like, you got to do something with it because they didn't know. All they know is when you can't sign in, that means something wrong. You got to go ask daddy, mommy, or somebody to fix it. But once it get fixed, you sign in, you go to your videos and all that. Them not even knowing how to, type. They knew I tell them push the speaker, say whatever you want to watch. The video pop up. Then there you go.
Yeah.
And that's why I would tell them, man, it's to a point, man. Life is so simple. For people that can't read, they got audible books. They got audible books that teach you to read a book. So it's no excuses. With finance, all this stuff, they teach you finance. If you don't know something, we got the computers in our pocket and won't even take advantage of them. We use them more for entertainment than actual knowledge. And while we stuck on the entertainment side, the people who got the knowledge, they the ones that's getting all this money. Like the dude Robert F. Smith, dude stood
Yeah.
up there and paid for Morehouse, all those kids in Morehouse, paid for all of them to graduate, pay their tuition off. He didn't get that from the entertainment side. He got that from his business side. You know, of course he's in entertainment and business, but he got that from his business side, man. A lot of times, like I tell people, it's fun. We can be entertained all day, but when you grow older, you got to grow up. You got to have the knowledge. You got to have the money. So mix a little bit of both in there and teach a little to your kids while you at it.
That's a whole fact. Hey, what's going on, Oz?
Hey, what's up? Hey, Sheed, how y'all doing? Salute to both of y'all gentlemen up here.
What's going on?
I like the topic and to get on the part with the kids being in the hallway and stuff. I I'm a mother. I got 6 kids. I'm a single mom. I have help here and there. I'm raising 5 boys by myself. She already know my story. It starts from home. If the kids are sometimes running away from the home because there's nothing in the home for the kids to be there. You got a lot of kids that have an entertainment. Like my kids are home. One of them are not because the street got to him. He tasted a little wet juice a little bit. So now he running the streets. But I said, you know what? You can't live with me because you want to smoke and you want to hang with your friends. You want to come in with you when you want to. You're 18, you're grown. You can't be with me no more. Because in my house, you can't do none of that. Oh crap. You can't do none of that. So, and you got kids that's under the poverty line. That parents are not educated. Parents are not spending the money in the right place. Where they smoking weed, they drinking, they mind somewhere else. They either into another man. Where the kids are running from the home. What child don't want to be in a home near their parents that love them and want to be around them? I got a 21-year-old right now, not 21, 20-year-old. He like being home. He like educating himself. It's something in the home these kids are running from to where they feel that the cold streets, the cold buildings, the smoking in the street, talking to a stranger is okay than being underneath your parents. And me as a parent, I have a child that experienced the streets. A lot of these kids are going through a lot where you got parents not caring what's going on in their head. They children. You got mental health going on. You got self-doubt. You got body imaging going on. It's a lot going on with these kids where they run into these streets to hang out in the hallway to smoke weed. Not giving them an excuse. But most of these kids, if you go to their home, they barely got clean clothes. They barely got a pot to piss in.
Facts.
The walls is filthy.
Facts.
Barely probably no food. You know, I represented my neighborhood, and I always looked at the grown folks. Why they always on a bench in the cold in the summertime? And I represented the neighborhood, so I had to go into these apartments and see. And a lot of things that I see, I know why you're not home. Your apartment dirty, it's breaking down. You're not taking care of it, and your child out there out in the street running around too, because there's nothing in the home to feel like a home. Parents is you got single parents that work all day and they can't watch their kids. So I experienced both of them sides for having a son running in the street, being a single parent, working hard. And my son right now, he a good kid. Cause right now he in somebody's crib smoking and drinking, but he not in the street doing chaos.
Yeah.
So, but he's not getting his education. He not worrying about the bigger things in life. But he's still acting like a kid because he and somebody else sitting on the couch, probably smoking weed, and that's it. And thank God he ain't getting nobody pregnant. He not even playing that. But it's something in the home where these kids think the cold is better than being in a nice warm bed.
Facts. And you know the sad part about it, you know, you spoke facts on that. Hold on, let me address the people that came in here. Word, what's going on? Anita, I see you, baby. Earth, what's going on, baby? Appreciate y'all for tuning in for the combo. No, but it's the truth though. You know, some of these situations is truthfulness. You go in their homes and see what's what. That's why I said the people that are getting, like prime example, I just spoke about this kind of yesterday, how some people would call ACS on parents for the wrong reasons. You know,
Right.
And that's something that needs to stop too, because you got people who are not doing nothing to their kids and they getting ACS called on them for some bullshit. And if it ain't the kid doing it, it's somebody that just spiteful about something. I see this happen in my building. Like
Right.
a couple of years ago, this lady kept getting the fuck. I'm like, why do they keep coming to her crib? She, you know, she's doing the proper thing. She's going to work. She's making sure her kids to
Right.
school. She's even checking up on them before she go to work. She goes to the school, make sure they got there, everything. And then it was somebody being spiteful just because they had a past beef with them. But I'm like, why would you even put the kids involved in that shit? Because that's stupid. If you got an issue with somebody, you as an adult, you handle it. But you don't fucking call and lie on people saying that they abusing their child. Meanwhile,
Right.
children got clothes, food, everything is how it's supposed to be in the houses.
And these parents, a lot of them, they're suffering from not being educated, not being struggling. They're suffering from a lot of these parents are suffering. You got kids having kids. Remember in the 80s, a lot of parents, what they did was they dropped out. A lot of mothers dropped out of school, took care of their kids to so the father could work all day and they stayed home taking care of kids. Huh?
No, not you. I was talking to my god sister. She just bopped
Jumped on public assistance, didn't educate their children, allowed their children to educate themselves. They mind distracted. So it's a lot of causes why these children are out in the street. Now, back in our days, we had a lot of programs. We had after school. Even if you didn't have to go, you could go. We had in the neighborhoods, we had little programs. I used to get paid to just join this, like $25 a week just to be sitting in a program. And I learned a lot. Then the summer youth changed now. These kids ain't getting nothing but $300 every 2 weeks. It was more stuff for these kids to do than it is now. You know, then when they do got programs, it's a lot of criteria. When I was young, once you hit the poverty line, you was able to go to them programs for free. So now they took them things out. So you got a lot of borders while these kids is in the street. I did a lot of volunteer work. I opened up my own after school program where you talk to the parents. You say, "Yo, your child's acting up." They get mad at you. I was raised. I lived in the projects. Now in the projects, nobody from the outside could have came in and made chaos in our neighborhood. And all the OGs told us to go to school because they were going to tell our aunt or beat our butts. Now you can't even talk to these kids anymore because the parents is like, "Oh, you talk to my kid, da-da-da." I could have gone to a lot of drama with my free after school program. But guess what? They was more mad that I'm saying something to their kid than me telling them, may you please make it easier so that they can come to this program. Or I ask for donations because you want your child to eat, right? I put my money into it. You got parents that's against the goodness of raising children right. You got parents that condone bullcrap. Where I live, you got parents that teach their 12-year-olds to disrespect adults. This is crazy. So now you seeing a young lady in the hallway and the things that's coming out her mouth. Like you said, it starts from home. Like, well, how do you feel this is comfortable? And if you're not scared for me to tell your parent you was out here cursing or in the hallway, they got no fear. The OGs now is more scared of the kids. We got to cross the street every time we see. I got this 8-year-old, right? We just moved to this neighborhood. He 8. So me and my kid, we not violent. If anything comes to a fight, we may need to talk about it. It ain't that serious. But if we got to fight, we got to fight. The 8-year-old must have thought we was very vaginas. He kicked my 20-year-old and put his hands in his face. He kicked me and he ran. He said, oh, y'all not going to do nothing because I did something to y'all twice and y'all ain't do nothing. So I had to go up to his mother's house. Like, if you don't get your child, I'm going to knock on your door every day and I'm going to pull you out your house and I'm going to fuck you up every time your child puts your hands on. Your child put any of his hands on my kids. So she was like, oh, you don't know what I'm going through. Sorry, I got 6 kids of my own. And I helped her take care of her child. When he needed something, I gave it to him. When he came to my job, say he wanted to eat, I gave it to him. And she didn't do nothing about it. She just let him run the street. So she upstairs doing the father good, but her son out here disrespecting my 20-year-old son. Now, if my 20-year-old son was disrespectful, your son would have been in the dirt right now. And you would have been mad, like, why this grown man hit my son? You got parents, mental state ain't correct. Period.
Yeah, and that's the sad part about it because again, but that's the sad part about it because see, back in the day, we wasn't, the OGs wasn't tolerating nothing, and I can say that now. They wasn't tolerating too much of anything. And anytime we felt like we was getting out of pocket, if we thought we was slick, we wasn't slick because guess what? We had something waiting for us when we was getting home. But see, nowadays, again, just like you said, you can't even tell these parents that their kids is out here wilding because they want to get upset. They want to get.
The schools are scared of the parents. The schools don't even call the parents and tell them that your child is acting up in school because they scared of the parents. The dynamics change. The morals and the respect change. It's more be my friends to my children. So when it's time for me to fight, my daughter gonna fight this, jump this grown person. The dynamics change in the mental situation.
Yeah, what's going on? Nah, but it's the same, and it's the thing, again, parents ain't doing what they supposed to be doing to a degree, and then the community is not coming together because again, even if we had those type of disrespectful situations back in the day, the OGs wasn't having that shit. They was dead ass on your necks about it. Like, all right, watch this. You think you free? You ain't gonna be free. And again, it's not just the school system. It's all these systems. Period. Because again, you got these.
It ain't a village, like you said.
Yeah, because you got to look at it. You got the situations that's occurring. Like right now, most of these parents ain't being parents because they scared to catch an ACS case because now they done made it to a point where the kids is able to just fuck up their own homes if they want to. And you got some, not going to say, I kind of agree with what you were saying about some of the kids running away from home, and then you got some that run away from home and they coming from the best background. You're like, well, it's
right, that's my
something missing. It's obviously something missing. It's a disconnected.
Right. Because I'm not gonna say my home is not perfect. My home ain't perfect. The dynamics is missing is a man. So that's the dynamics. So thank God 1 out of 5, 1 out of 6 is going crazy.
Yeah, this is why you got to come together, period. Because guess what? We know there's some situations where you got single parent homes. But again, you got the community and the villages coming together as they were supposed to. They're always going to make sure that there's some sort of, male role model. And that's why I told somebody, I said, y'all keep making it seem like men are the fucking problem. No, we both are the problem because we both are not fucking coming together
all right, we got these kids, we got to figure this shit out. We got to just do what we got to do. Nobody's using their 2 cents. Y'all so worried about catching a fucking case. Fuck that. When your kids need to be disciplined, they gotta be disciplined. Period. Gotta be disciplined, because if not, this is exactly the type of things that's gonna end up happening. And again, some of y'all can't cry about, oh, this shouldn't have happened to my baby. But if you ain't even paying attention to what the fuck your kid is doing, what do you expect to happen? That's like somebody sitting there telling you, yo, your boy out here wild and robbing people doing this. And then in the same token, you ain't even trying to pay attention to what's being said and more than one person has told you. So when something happens to your kid, you know what happened. They gave you fair warning, you didn't listen. Now you did, come on now. This is why, it gotta be a joint effort, because at the end of the day, these kids shouldn't have to fail. And these kids shouldn't have to worry about being another screw up in life. They should be wanting to be the best possible person they can be.
So I'm gonna drop down. So I just wanted to say that.
No, you good,
Everyone have
sis.
a nice afternoon.
Yeah, definitely. Anytime the panel open, you more than welcome, sis. Shouts to Eyes. Yeah, but this is the type of topics that need to happen, because again, like even last night with the open panel, we spoke on some things that we know for a fact is it could change, but if nobody's in accordance and nobody's really trying to stand tall on it, you're gonna keep getting the same old outcomes. Like prime example again, if I know for a fact you doing something you ain't supposed to be doing, I know your parents think I give a fuck about that shit, nigga. I went to school with your parents, nigga. We was knowing each other before you even thought about coming out of anything. So therefore, when you fucking up, at least with me, the people that I rock with, I see any of their kids fucking up, especially I know I've been rocking with them forever. They know what it is. That's why a lot of them be like, I ain't trying to be bothered. What's going on, Nacho? It was like, I ain't trying to be bothered because I already know he gonna go back and say something. Yeah, I'm gonna go back and say something. You fucking up. When you should be in school, but you worried about being outside doing things of an adult nature, yeah, I'm gonna be on my fucking P's and Q's, because again, shit, nobody see me go down the cracks. So why should I see anybody else go down through the same cracks? And if I've been around people that kind of already went down the dark road again, I can tell you from experience. I don't come on here and talk out my ass for nothing. No, I come out here and talk because I see shit happening even as we speak now. And again, it got to be a respect level. You got to be making sure your kids is in accordance, even when they do get a certain age. Because I'm from that era where I always had respect. Now, if you didn't have no respect for me, of course I ain't respect you. You're just another person. But other than that, I'd show the best I could possibly show. I just told somebody the other day, he was asking me, why you don't speak to this one? Why you don't speak to this one? Because I don't speak to sometimes the people. Don't talk to me 1 minute and then in the next token, you act like you don't even know me. So I treat people accordingly, and that's what needs to happen. And then and that's what needs to be instilled in these kids now. More morals, more knowledge. And if it ain't going to start from home, it needs to start from the community and the village. Because again, there was times that there was kids in my area that wasn't going to be able to slip through the cracks because they always had somebody around the corner that knew them. Like, yo, bro, let me scoop you up and let me holler at you real quick. And as you're supposed to, see, like what she just said, some people even felt that, like, see, it's certain people I'll call them Mister. Other people I'll call them by their first names because they don't want to hear that Mister. You making me sound old. I ain't fine. I'm gonna respect what you want. But you still gotta have a respect level all in all. You gotta just want to have knowledge and faith in yourself to do something. This is why I be stressing a lot of different things. And you want the kids and the youth to be the future. You want them to be on the forefront, but then you're not trying to really give them the knowledge and the tools they need. So how can anything change?
Yeah, because one of the biggest things, it starts with us. The community as a whole. A lot of people take that and don't know how to run with it because, for one, where what's really a community? You know, like I said, a lot of people drop the ball. You don't have family functions no more. Back in the day, if you ask kids what's family reunion, they're gonna talk about what you talking about. That thing from Medea. That's the only time they seen something about a family reunion. Most people don't even know their cousins to a degree. You might fool around and mess with your cousin. Hey, the way things going in society, you know, you might fool around and mess with your sister one day as a dude. You know, if your pop's rolling out there, you might mess around with your half sister. Same thing with your mama. You know, we don't even know our family like that no more. You know, to a degree, you got on both sides. And if you look at a lot of this stuff that people talk about with the gender war stuff, I mean, that'll be to the end of days. But knowing this, that this is a situation that is unbalanced. A lot of women are not dealing with men, and a lot of men want a certain type of woman. So nobody's clicking together. It's gonna be harder for relationships to form. Yeah, everybody gonna have sex, and you're gonna have a lot of kids, you know, to where nobody really cares about those kids. Most of these relationships with people having kids, I always call them oops babies because they just something that happened. It was a mistake, you know. And it's kind of hard to sit here and tell your child as they get older, yeah, you was a mistake, but we did the best we could, you know. And this is what we facing going into these next years. You know, when you have a lot of these kids going into situations where the parents don't really like each other and go at each other's throat and don't put that child in a situation where they can't have a strong man in the household or even have a relationship. It's not even the point. If that woman don't like that man, cool. That man don't like that woman, cool. As adults, y'all need to fuss and fight behind closed doors. When it come to y'all kids, y'all let it be what it be. This is only strictly for the kids. Other than that other stuff, y'all ain't got no beef. Y'all shouldn't have no beef with each other. You know, far as even with money situation. Yeah, y'all beef about that money in this because 9 times out of 10, most of the parents are using the money for the wrong situation anyway. Because honestly, if you can't afford to have that child in your house, send them with the other parent. And if both of y'all can't afford to have the child in each one of y'all house, y'all need to come to a collective amount that's feasible for that kid to maintain. Because I never understand this a lot of times when you have child support come in, they take money. I understand if you got to dealing with a guy that don't want to pay child support, even to the extent with women. Women are starting to get on child support now because they don't want their kids. And it goes up and down with these situations to where you done made a child, but now you're not wanting to protect your child and be there for your child. Like, come on, man. You know, even as a dude or a woman, you know, I'm not gonna sit here. If I make a mistake or so be it, I got a baby out of wedlock, then I'm just gonna have to do my best to make this relationship work with this woman. If I can't make the relationship work, cool. We not together. I still got responsibilities. Whether being on child support or not, some people I used to tell dudes this a lot, and a dude didn't like it, but it's like dangling that carrot. Most times the women would try to put you on child support or say they're gonna put you on child support to dangle it over your head. Just put yourself on child support. Deal with your kids like that. You know, a lot of guys that want to run from the court system. I'm like, dude, you an upstanding guy. Ain't nothing wrong with you. You gonna pay anyway. Just go ahead and pay. To the extent, I don't even see why women try to put them on child support like that anyway if they're giving you money, because when it all comes down, the court making fees. If you hear every court system, they always say we doing what's in the child's best interest. So why if you in the child's best interest, why that child staying with an unfit parent? They don't care as long as they get that money and them fees, and most dominantly, they're gonna make sure it's with the mother because 9 times out of 10, the man is the one who makes a lot of money. They get them fees from here quicker than they would that woman. So the system ain't even really balanced to a degree. But like I keep saying, it goes back to us having these kids and not doing nothing with these kids. So now society got to take care of our kids because we not taking care of our kids as a whole.
Facts. Nah,
So what's his name? So oh, Coco, that's she we hear. Nah, but it's the truth though, bro. I've been saying something like that a long time ago. I said the system ain't designed really for no strong alpha males. This system is more designed for the kids and for the women. And that's why I said all in all, and it's the same thing I've been saying too. I don't understand why you would put somebody on child support if they actually are going to be there in their child's life and take care of their child. I can see you doing that to somebody who really ain't shit, who really just out here. And even still, like last night, I said it's a crime of humanity on both ends because you're out here bringing all these unwanted kids, and now they out here with no love. It's fucked up. You know, and it's time for that balance to change because, again, if you're not going to be prepared and responsible to take care of another life, you shouldn't be trying to bring life into the world. Focus on yours. Get your shit right. Some people actually waited late to have kids. Some people for good reason. Some people just felt like this, like how I feel to a degree. Not just going to lay my seed in anybody. And then especially if I got to worry about these type of situations happening. Nope. Because I told somebody one time before, I said, I'll be one of them type of baby fathers you'll definitely be mad at because there ain't going to be no easy trip. It ain't going to be no, you think you're going to use the system against somebody that's actually having receipts and doing what they're supposed to be doing. You can all kick rocks. I'll be here. You know, and that's the sad part about it. We got to come together again. You know, sometimes it's hard for the men to try to even really be a vocal point when, again, you got some of these women using the kids as pawns. Because if I don't want to be with you as an adult, see, like, look, as an adult, if I don't want to be with you, you got to respect it. But if I'm telling you I'm still going to be here, I'm still going to be a part of raising my kid, if we can't come together and fix our situation, we got to come together to a common ground so we could lay the foundation down for the kids that's behind us. Because again, you know, nothing worse than, you know, hearing situations like that. Like, well, you know, some parents actually say it like that. Oh, well, you know, we wasn't really planning to have you, but yada, yada, yada. You know, sometimes it do happen. They get caught up in the heat of the moment. But then again, it's just things that you say, you know. And I feel like every kid that comes into this world is a blessing regardless. But it's about having the family structure in the background. You know, you can't sit here and expect your kid to be an architect if you ain't even teaching them the proper things you're supposed to teach them. What's going on, bro? You know, and that's the truth, though. You're not going to expect your kids to be a success in life if you ain't even giving them key tools they need to try to succeed. That's why I say you got to definitely be more of a village and a community and come together. And some of you OGs are going to have to stop being bitch made. I'm sorry to say it. There ain't no way in the hell. Like I told somebody the other day, they was laughing. They said, "Oh shit, I'm walking across the street." Whole bunch of teenagers. They, you know, they look like they was on some bullshit. I walked past every last one of them, and half of them niggas in the squad knew me. Was like, they was like, "Oh shit, yo, Nate, what up, man?" I'm like, fuck y'all doing? Nah, we ain't doing much, man. Motherfuckers think we in some. I said, yeah, well, hopefully y'all not into no bullshit. I said, this is why people give y'all that look, because y'all always ganged up, but then y'all look like y'all about to be into some bullshit. Sometimes you gotta change that dynamic too, because people will sit there and judge you just off that. You can see me with a whole bunch of gang members. Does that mean I'm a gang member? No, I'm probably just cool with everybody that's in it. You know, because before a gang, it was, nigga, we was hanging. We was growing up together. Like, everybody going to choose their paths in lives. I got some people that went the gang route, and even if they still in the gang, they're not doing the shit that is being promoted, basically. They're not doing nothing outside of anything that shouldn't be promoted. Most of the fucking gang members I know, they go to work. They still active, but they go to work. They ain't out there, or they active, but they not active. You know, they not out there running, robbing, and killing. No, they working. They're doing what they gotta do and try to uplift the ones that is up under them, so they don't go down the wrong path. They gotta come back to that, y'all. It has to. If not, we're gonna have the same exact problems happening every other damn day. You know, you gotta bring that awareness, and this is why I bring what I bring to this panel and this channel, because we got things that need to be discussed, and we got things that really need to be fix. And if we can't come together, then what? We can't keep complaining about shit. Little Mario, what's going on? Make this go viral. I see y'all all in here. Appreciate everybody that tuned in. Christy, your cartwheeling self.
Make this go viral. That's Miss B. Miss B doing. Yeah, man. Even with the OGs, man, you got to look at it like this. A lot of the OGs, I couldn't even call them OGs because they not giving no game. Only thing they doing is just holding the title. That's like the champion, holding the title and never go box nobody. You just want to hold on to that title. You should be out here influencing, getting wins. But instead, you just want to hold the title. A lot of the OGs from my neighborhood, man, they stuck with it. They was like, okay, you young, I'm going to teach you this. I'm going to show you this. I'm going to influence you this. And this is how you live life. I got married young. I got married at 25. So with me, I kind of knew what situations I was getting myself into because I always talked to them OGs and they always told me, they said, man, what you don't want to be, what you don't want to do is get caught up like this, learn situations like that because you will forever be chasing this. You will forever be doing that. Cool. I know not to, move like this. Cool. I know I had to get caught up like that. But who's out here helping these young guys and showing them this ain't the way. This ain't how you supposed to do it. Nobody. So instead, they out here just, winding up, doing things as they go. If they do it wrong, the OG hit you on your shoulder after you fall. You supposed to catch me before I fall. I don't supposed to go through a process of a learning curve like this, and I'm supposed to be around somebody that's called a big homie.
Exactly.
That big homie supposed to be guiding me along the path. Yeah, I might make a small mistake, but it's not a big mistake. That's the biggest part of the issue in which a lot of these young guys they face, and these women, like this whole chase the bag culture with women. It's cool until it leads you to a life of crime or somebody goes to jail. Because see, that chasing the bag, it comes at a cost. They don't tell you that in Chasing Bag Class 101. They don't tell you being a boss and being a hustler, they get you caught like this Class 101. You got to learn through these life lessons. And I always say that. If you don't learn by life, life will teach you. Life will teach you a valuable lesson, how to, you meet your own demise. And that's where it is to end a lot of young kids because they not taught at home this stuff. So they end up meeting their own demise in the street, whether it be with a gun, whether it be with you getting jumped, no matter what it is. Life will show you the easy way because I always say this between men and women, we don't have a book structure for every man or every woman to live the correct way, live a perfect life. We know if you get married and have wife and kids to be together, but what about the in-between pages? Who wrote the book on that? We always hear about this American dream, having a house with the white picket fence and the 2.5 kids. But what about in between? How do I get to that point? Nobody has that structure foundation laid out. And if they do, they hiding it from us in the community because why? We don't either look like them or they don't want us to be like them. So that's a difficulty we deal with too.
Yeah, but then that's the thing too, bro. And I get where you coming from. But this is where I was getting at last night too in the live. At some points we know you're gonna have to come together as a community because they are slowly taking things. If they ain't already take damn near everything, they slowly taking away a lot of programs that still could mean something for the youth. That's why I said when these establishments is taking away shit and they cutting shit, you gotta be the ones. If y'all coming together as a whole, y'all putting y'all money together, y'all can do the simplest things in the community. And that right there will spark something because who ain't gonna want to come together to at least see the youngins doing something positive? You want to have people who do want to see these kids making it, succeeding in life. They don't want them to be another victim or casualty, And then again, it starts within the community too, in the village. With certain things that they taken away, we gotta try to bring that back one way or another. And if we know it's certain things they definitely ain't teaching in school, we supposed to already be teaching them these things. Again, everything starts from home.
And then there'll always be a lack of trust with the finance because if I'm donating to give people money, I expect to see some changes and growing in the community, but then you have a lot of resources and just being misused. Not many programs, even like the NAACP, even though it was started by other people, the NAACP ain't even for black people no more. It's for everybody in between. And it's
Yo, you kind of, oh, shoot. Yeah, shout out Sheed. I don't know what happened, bro. You just cut off, but I'm going to drop the link again in case you want to pop back up. Ryder, what's going on? AA, what's going on? See y'all all. For those who just tuned in, y'all remember the like button. Y'all new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. You know, conversations like this are definitely going to happen. And when I do drop panels, I drop links because, you know, it's always good to get somebody's view and opinion and what changes could actually be made. Like last night, I'm telling you, last night, I still felt like that was a positive build. And I didn't care about how many people was actually watching. I didn't care about the views. I more just cared that the people were actually watching and listening to people who are actually concerned about what's going on. Doesn't matter what communities we coming from. We all are coming from somewhere, from a struggle where we want to see better, especially when it comes to the youth. You know, if you're not going to be an active part of that, then it's always going to be the same problems. And again, everything does start from home. But if you know that their backgrounds ain't where they supposed to be at, then you as an adult, period, are supposed to chime in, step in and say something. I got you, bro. Hold on. Yeah, I don't know what the hell happened. You just said something and just said clink. Oh, fuck.
oh no, I had a call. So you know when you get a call, it drop you off.
Oh, all right, no doubt. Yeah, nah, because I'm sitting there. I thought it was me at one point. Because one time I'm thinking everybody got quiet because I heard that loud feedback, and come to find out they kicked me out my own stream y'all for a second. I was like, what kind of shit? Like, what kind of shit is going on over here? But I always know that too. Sometimes when certain things get interrupted, it's only because you know that's them demons trying not to let this shit come out, especially when it's hitting too close to home.
Yeah, man. Yeah, because like I said, in our community, man, we got a lot of stuff that we can change, but it starts with a lot of us trusting each other. And like I said, it more or less the old cliche, it starts in the home and it spreads abroad. So if I got something I want to do and mentor to my kids, I teach my kids, and then if need be, I teach somebody else. You know, I deal with a guy on YouTube, dude named Alonzo Hall. He sells life insurance. You know, me and him, we started talking. I dealt with him, got life insurance, you know, through him with my kids and stuff, to where this life insurance grows with them. And then, like I was telling my son, because he want to learn about life insurance and stuff like that, not even if he want to be one, be it insurance adjuster or not, or just the point of him just learning about it. I told him, I said, well, I'll set it up where you can, you know, talk with this guy and get some information and, you know where you stand. And so that's the whole thing. If I don't know anything, I need to be able to put my child in the room with somebody that can, versus me just giving my anecdotal, you know, knowledge, and it's not even true or it's not even right or to a degree. So I need to help them that type of way.
Big facts. I think everybody good, Liz. Because I ain't gonna be on too long. I gotta slowly start preparing myself. I got an afternoon shift. But I felt that definitely needed to be put out there because, again, these are the type of combos that need to happen. And regardless of how most people may feel or may think, these type of combos are going to continue to happen because until there are better changes, you got to do what you got to do. You can't sit there and keep fumbling the ball. You can't. Again, these youth are supposed to be the future. And if you're not going to give them any type of proper challenges or proper training, then you're setting them up for all sorts of failure. And then whose fault is that? Nobody but yours. You got to be in accordance. But see, this is the type of topic I'm probably, you know what, I might bring this back up tonight. And I'll drop the link again for y'all, and we can have this open again. I'm not playing, like, it's things that are going to be discussed. At some point, there will be some building and some movements going on. And it needs to start happening at some point. You know? Nah, we ain't telling them nothing, word. We ain't telling you nothing. No, but all in all, those the truth. Gotta definitely get in accordance. You know, like what made me feel so upset about this is because, again, like Friday night, I'm going out, and you know, there's no way in the hell you want to tell me these kids are still sitting, they playing in the stairwell, so on and so forth. And these are girls, not no boys around the knee. So imagine if something would have happened in that staircase. Or imagine if something would have happened this morning in this hallway with these girls. You know this. Your parents really need to get in accordance because, again, your child could be in the utmost danger and you won't even know because you're not paying attention to them. Word, I got a shotgun for you and your raccoons. Come over here with that dumb. I gotta read you a eulogy too. You definitely gonna catch PTSD today. Don't let me do it to you, word. Don't let me do it to you, baby. No, it's all good though. I mean, these are the type of topics we're gonna have. And I don't know, I think I might try to do part 2 tonight to this. So I'm gonna definitely set a time reminder, and anybody that's willing to pop up, y'all more than welcome. I'm about to try to figure out my lunch and try to slowly get myself prepared for this afternoon. I do appreciate you, bro, for popping up. And you already know anytime the panel open, you're more than welcome.
I'm gonna drop down, but man, nice talk to you.
You already know, bro. And like I said, anytime the panel open, you're more than welcome, bro, because this was a good conversation. And it's good to see that there are other people who are actually out there that are gonna, you know, bring this knowledge and truth. And we definitely got some good people in here. If you ain't sub to them yet, bro, definitely show some love because you know, everybody does something different. Everybody that I know is here brings something different to the table. So, you more than welcome. Shout outs to Sheed and shout outs to Oz Love to Talk. You know, but this is definitely a good convo. We're gonna build on this again tonight. So for those who just tuned in, y'all already know, hit the like button. If you was late to the show, you already know, catch the replay. You know, shout outs to the shadow watchers, shout outs to the replay game. And for everybody that was in attendance, y'all already know love is love and it will be reciprocated as such. I don't know how to be fake. All I can do is give you real. And that's what I'm going to do, is just give you real shit. And we'll definitely be back in here tonight. We'll set the time reminder, set the panel. Anybody more than willing to pop up and bring light to the situation. Because again, the people don't just want to hear my views and opinions, they want to hear everybody's views and opinions. You know? And these is for people that are watching the replay. You're gonna have people that come up here and they're gonna be speaking some stuff. They're gonna be speaking some real truth and knowledge. It's up to you to accept it though. You know? If you're not gonna accept it, the only thing you're gonna embrace is drama and even death. And who wants to keep going through that same repeated cycle? It's time to break it. You know, and I'm gonna set the reminder. It'll probably be an early one tonight. I'll probably set the reminder again for an early open panel where we could discuss whatever. You know, again, it's about the future of the youth. It's not just about the future of us, it's the future of the youth. Because again, how can the youth go far if we ain't pushing them far? Don't forget that part. Gotta push them, even if it's to their limits, you have to push them because you want to see them be great. You want to see them strive to succeed in life and not be a complete failure. Time to step it up, adults. It's really time to step it up.
It doesn't matter if you got kids, godkids, cousins. It's time for you to be more vocal and more active at making sure that these youth are getting pushed to greatness and not getting pushed to failure. But again, we'll definitely chop back on this again tonight. Y'all go enjoy yourselves, stay safe, keep that third eye open. I think 9 out of 10, I'm gonna set the pin for 8 or 9, so we'll definitely be in it. Until the next live, we out of here. Peace and blessings.